Hi, my name is Brenda. I guess the story that I was told growing up would have to be my parents' immigration story. It originally started when my grandma decided to leave Mexico and leave her 6 children behind with my great grandma. She came to the United States to give them a better life, due to circumstances with my grandfather. Over time, a lot of my uncles started, you know, coming over to United States, and then my mom did become pregnant with me, and she got married and decided that she wanted to give me a better life. Now, as a child, I knew that my parents were immigrants, but they had never really told me the story. They just told me that they came here for a better life. Over time, as I was getting older and I started seeing, meeting different people, seeing the different ways you can come in, and all that sort of stuff. That's when my mom started talking to me a little bit more about what exactly her journey was. Fortunately, it was very difficult. She originally came here in 1997. She crossed the border through Arizona, and she had fallen down with, while being pregnant, and my dad had to carry her for the rest of the walk because she had broken or like done something with her ankle. I did not know that, growing up. After that, she let me know that she actually traveled from Arizona to Texas, due to the fact that she had family there and she knew that she could count on them to help them out. At this time, her and my grandma were in the best terms, so she flew to Texas, and she let me know how scary it was knowing that she was in an airport, and she didn't know any Spanish. I mean, she didn't know any English. All she knew was Spanish, and the only really words that she knew was colors. And fortunately, she had gone in the wrong plane, and they were trying to call her over the airplane, like, okay, please pick up the white phone, and we'll talk to you, and try to get you over to the correct plane. And my dad wasn't understanding, and she wasn't understanding. The only thing that she understood was white, so she assumed that it was the white phone, and that's when she answered it, and she realized that she was on the wrong plane. After that, she moved to Texas. She had me. After a month or two, she did come to Vegas. My grandma and my aunt had given her an opportunity for a better apartment, a better job for my dad, and after that, the rest was history. They've been here since 1997, like I said. Unfortunately, this does not end their journey as far as for my mom. Unfortunately, she did have to go back to Mexico back in 2003, 2002, around that time, due to, having to get a surgery. I had the chance to go with her, and that was actually one of my first couple of times, attending to Mexico and getting to meet my family. And at that time, I was very young and I didn't understand. Obviously, I was only 4, but I just remembered that it was time for me to go back, and I just had a feeling that I was just, never gonna be able to see my mom again, because I knew she wasn't getting in the plane with me. Unfortunately, she did try to cross the border once again, and she was caught, and she had to spend some months in jail, and while she was released, she tried once again, and that time she was successful. So just hearing that story over the years just has very much motivated me to do the best that I can to make them proud, to give them, a good enough reason for them that, they had dropped everything, they had left family in Mexico, people they've known, a whole lifestyle, all just to come here to the United States to give me a better life. So unfortunately, I have always known I'm very blessed to have them as my parents, and for them sacrificing so many things over the years. But throughout my years, I've learned more and more about their journey and more about their story, and it's made me more grateful. So I guess one of the questions is, when was the last time I really thought about this story? or family history. It was actually recently, especially with this president's candidate, or this the United States president, his ideals, a lot of racist ideals, obviously, as you know, with immigration. And it's very scary to know that my parents, did so much and have been here for almost 22 years. And for them one day not know if, they're going to be able to come back home, if they may get caught, just being pulled over, somebody coming to the house. Like, it's very scary to think. So because I'm in school, that's one of the main main keys that keeps me going, keeps me motivated to make sure that I make them proud and I make that story, worth it. Because at the end of the day, they did all of this for me and my brother. And it just means a lot to me that, that I'm able to make them proud. Now, I guess, like I said, this story has impacted me into who I am today. I'm very grateful for everything I have. I know that anything can be taken away in a matter of seconds, and unfortunately, we risk it every day, with my parents being immigrants and my mom unfortunately not being able to fix papers. It's just my dad for the time, and it just has shown me that you have to enjoy every single moment of your life that you have with your family, because you never know. Some people are scared of death. I'm scared of my parents being taken away from me and my brother and being, sent back to Mexico. Fortunately, I do have my passport and we do have plans, but it does shape me into thinking more responsible, being more cautious. Always, even though I'm a citizen, I'm always very cautious. Just because you never know. So I guess one of the other questions is, how would I feel if the federal government told me that I could no longer tell my family's story? Throughout this course, I have seen how the United States has silenced Native Americans, and how throughout the years, especially with immigration, they have tried to silence or discredit people that have been deported due to the stereotypes of, well, they came here illegal, they're only here to sell drugs. They try to push out these tactics and these stereotypes onto society to make them believe that it is okay for them to separate, families, when in reality it's not. The land that you are born in should not matter, and should not take away, not only your rights but your humanity, just because you might have been born in a different country. So I guess in a way, right now the government is trying to shut up, not shut up, but quiet down my story, along with other millions of families that have unfortunately have gone through this case of their parents being deported. But fortunately, with social media and just a lot of different ways that we are able to access others across even the country, the state, the city, it's very easier to push out your story and to, let it be known of what, your truth. But at the end of the day, I guess you can just say that this story, even though it is new and it's not, something very old and an old part of my culture, it is part of my culture at the end of the day, because my grandma started the story by first coming to the United States in order to give my parents my mom and my uncles a better life. And ever since then, I've seen them, how ungrateful they've been, and it just has shown me to be even more grateful for them. I'm very grateful for my grandma helping my mom out, my aunts, everybody that really gave a lending hand to my mom, and my parents that ultimately gave me the opportunity to be here and, be able to, advance my knowledge or better myself overall, and my quality of life, my lifestyle, my expanding my knowledge. So it's, yeah, but that was my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it.